Bassey and Ware. And Walsh quickly out of the gate. Smokes the dunk. Gonzalez, the rookie out of Spain, number 28. Chug on the baseline. Lobbed up for Bassey in the slam. Charles Bassey makes it 2-0, just underway here. We watched him with the San Antonio Spurs several times last season. Shot clock down to 8. Good defense by Sharman, hounding the ball handler and peeled him clean. And a great pass from his backside. Count it and put one on the mixtape. Fouled.
We'll give Sharman a tremendous amount of credit. First diving for the ball, but then the lefty toss right on the money. And guess what, Jonesy? It gets even faster once we hit October.
Oh, boy. Larson with a ball fake inside Ware. Nice catch and finish. Larson off the bounce to Lewis. Got it back. Great ball fake for the bucket.
Revisit with Larson. Made a huge play at the end of the game for them in overtime.
Shireman. Walsh with a nice seal. Whistle, foul, too little.
Last summer, even 2 summers ago, sealing, running the floor, and more importantly, taking advantage of their size and athleticism.
In a good flow so far. 3-point lead for Boston. Larson turns the corner. That baseline 3 was pure.
Everything in Miami's a competition, right?
Yep.
But they have a tremendous competition, and Quinn often jokes with Coach Spo about he's thinning out a little bit. That doesn't count. You know, and I would love to take credit for Max, but we won't be able to get that. He's a Virginia Commonwealth University guy. But I will say this. He did play for Ryan Odom, who's now the head coach at University of Virginia. So we'll take that. As Tyler Larson will absolutely take 3 and an opportunity.
He's really gotten his good offensive rhythm over the last couple of games. One more look.
But it also gives the Celtics an opportunity to get the basketball back here with 8.6 remaining.
Golden goes 1 for 2. Johnson with the offensive rebound. Plenty of time, 5 seconds. Williams on the drive-by, sprays it to 3. Got it. So things just happen to work out for the Miami Heat. Javonte Cook cashes out as Miami ends the period on an 8-0 sprint. Back with the second right after this.
Make a tremendous difference. That's what Summer League is great for you get an opportunity to see and just to get a taste of what it's going to be like. Of course, it will be nothing like this in October. You know, just add to it as Kendall Brown shows off his athleticism.
What a finish, Corey. Boston back to within 5. That's his first field goal. Williams, Larson inside. Larson with the left. Good contest by Bassey. Gonzalez on the move. Lost the handle. Johnson elevate and detonates.
But you see the difference in athleticism.
That's the end of the first half.
Keyshawn Johnson coming up with the steal, and then no one stopping the ball. I mean, speaking of Udonis Haslem, he was absolutely one of those. Of course, got his body together and ends up winning 3 rings and playing 20 seasons in Miami.
Gonzalez with a clean 3 off the mark. Yeah, people forget. You talked about getting his body in shape. Udonis used to weigh well into the 250 range. What an athletic finish again by Johnson.
He's showing off his ability to find his teammates, tossing it up. That's the missing piece for him. If he's able to do that, he can find himself in the rotation for the Celtics as well.
Williams turned it over. Boston on the move. They got numbers. A 3-on-2. Bassey couldn't flush it home. Off the miss. Celtics giving up a fast break here to Cook. Timeout Boston.
As Cook starts to cook already here in this second quarter.
In the game between France and USA, Wemby against Chet, it was Lofton that at times might have been the best player on the floor. That's the kind of potential that he has.
Yeah, and you think about it, Wemby really at that point had his way with Chet, but he couldn't do anything with Kenny Lofton. And Lofton was doing the same thing to him that he just did to Khalil Ware, backing him down, getting his space, and knocking him off balance so he couldn't even contest his shots.
Man, Ware is holding Lofton like a grudge right now. And Sharman says, I'll do it from deep. But those two were battling down low.
Well, Khalil Ware didn't like being bullied on that last possession. He's going to fight back. And so the best way to do that is push Lofton as far as he can off the block.
Lewis sprays it to the corner. Wild shot is off the mark that time by Cook. Shireman, nice bounce pass. And Walsh punches it home. Celtics basketball. Good dime here by Shireman.
And Shireman knocking down the 3-ball. 2 of 15 from beyond the arc. Knocks down the 3 and then drops a dime.
See what kind of bag work Larson has here. Good cross. Threw up a wild shot, though. And it gets the Celtics on a break. 2-on-1. Walsh fouled. Count it.
Stevenson's a tough guy. And he was coming over to deliver a blow. Well, you and I had opportunity to actually call the Detroit game when they were in the midst of a 10-game slide, which had been the most since Eric Spoelstra's taken over as a coach of the Miami Heat. So, and again, that game they were in great position until a Cade Cunningham three-point field goal at the buzzer was able to get them that 10th loss in a row. So, but, you know, and we talked with Spo. He learned a lot about himself and his as a coach this year, as well as the guys that they have in their locker room.
Larson, 5 on the clock. On the blow by Larson, got it on the glass. Count it.
Gonzalez will get free throws on the other end. But you watch Khalil Ware as the shot goes up, the two-hand shove.
Play some zoom action. Lewis tipped away by Miles Norris on the break. Oh, wow. What a finish by Miles Norris.
And so far for Miles Norris, it's 5-0, all in Norris' favor. An opportunity to make it.
Arizona guys that guard. Have you seen Carter Bryant?
I haven't seen him here, but I've seen him a lot growing up.
Nobody wants to be guarded by him. And Stevenson knocks down a 3. Nobody wants to go home winless, right?
No.
We're all professionals.
No. Hard to get a job with the organization you're with or anywhere else when you don't win at all.
Lewis off the drag screen. Got to the paint. Bassey with the block. And Ware with the putback. Ware with an impressive 12-9 stat line so far. On double-double alert. Shireman off the wide action. Got to the rim for the layup.
Great recognition by Shireman, knowing that Ware was going to go for the block shot.
And Johnson at the other end, raising up. Lofton with the board. Boston has cut it down to 5. I could see that one coming.
Because this is not a block. That is a spike. Look how quickly.
Go. Brown on the drive. Got the layup. Tough move. Lead is down to 4.
After my first year in what was then the D-League, not the G-League, but the D-League in 2003, they brought in 30 players. Only 2 of us finished all 6 practices, 2-a-days for 3 straight days. Pat Riley came down and talked to all of us, and Eric Spoelstra was very young in the organization at the time. But Pat Riley came down and talked to us, and he called out the fact that it was myself and Devin Brown, the only 2 players that finished every practice.
6 seconds to go in the period. See what kind of shot the Celtics get. They try to throw it inside. Bassey with a good catch. Count it in traffic.
And walks to the sideline, letting everyone know it's my ball, and I'll take it if I want to. Got to make sure of your awareness on the court.
Williams lines it up. And Ware caught a body underneath.
And that's another one of those plays. If you're Bassey and you can't get a handle on that basketball, there's got to be someone there to tag Khalil Ware. Keep him away from taking off, because once he gets in the air, there's nothing you can do about it.
Miami back up by 2. Shoga. They show him 2 bodies. He found the open guy. That's good basketball for you.
You got to love having an athlete like this. I used to run this with Antonio McDyess, a.k.a. up in the air. They're going to take care of business.
Vertical spacing. Cook from out. Rebounded by Shireman. Boston with a chance to take the lead here. Gonzalez finds atonement and redemption with the 3-ball. Larson in rhythm, a little bit short. Ware got it. On a perfect 3 of 3 from deep. Shireman with a logo 3. Great bounce and putback. Lewis out front. Around the staggered screens, Lewis. Floater is good.
Where he thrived down the stretch for the Heat this season.
What an addition he was after the trade from Toronto. There aren't many better on-ball defenders in the league than Davion Mitchell.
Tell you what, he absolutely took over the play-in game that got the Heat into the playoffs in the overtime period, knocking down multiple threes. And we're so happy to see him have success in a new home and rewarded for it.
Johnson on the run up. Corey, that's the second time we've seen that happen to the Celtics. An alert Heat team taking advantage of Boston.
And that's something that Matt Reynolds will absolutely address with his team in their film session tomorrow.
Boston running that horns out, that thumb out action there for Shireman. Lofton pulls the 3. Smooth looking stroke by the big man.
Oh, he's got it, no question about it. There is not an offensive tool that...
One-on-one on the wing, good screen by Ware. Rolls out of it nicely. Great execution.
And nice finish by Ware. Couldn't get all the way to the rim to dunk it, so shows off that soft touch. A little bit of a finger roll.
This is the Khalil Ware that Eric Spoelstra would like to see on a nightly basis in terms of effort and consistency. Shireman with a big-time rebound. Lofton again. That's a big body Bennett, folks.
Yeah, he's not going to be denied.
Larson bringing it up against pressure. Nice pocket pass. Ware on a hard roll. Put it up off the bounce. Almost got it back. And a slam through by Johnson.
But give Khalil Ware tremendous credit. Even though he doesn't get that offensive rebound, he really dislodged 2 Celtics players, knocking them out of the way, making it possible for Johnson to come in and pick up the loose change.
Right, with good force here today. Lofton with a nice pass inside and a reverse by Kendall Brown. Lewis calls for the screen. Long goes over the top. They switch it. Lewis with the mismatch. Blew a tire. Norris. Wow, another nice finish.
Hands allow him to get a bucket. And in contrast, it turns into the breakaway that allows the Celtics to be.
This time Boston goes back to man-to-man defense. There's the lob for Ware, and there's the finish.
And great execution right there. The screening action, but more importantly, looking for Ware and recognizing that Boston is back in that man-to-man, knowing exactly what they want to go to.
2-point Celtic lead. 2 minutes to go. Norris on the drive. Tough bucket. Celtics with great balance. They've got 7 players in double-digit scoring. Johnson from the wing got it.
And that's where Johnson has really added to his game as a professional. Again, you can no longer leave him. And oftentimes you'll find teams, they will not help off that ball side corner, but they're daring Johnson to make that shot, and he proves he can.
Gonzalez snakes it. Got it knocked away by Ware in traffic. 2-on-1 for Miami. Johnson, Larson, bucket, and 1.
Dap up Khalil Ware because Ware started this.
A little inverted ball screen action. They got the switch. Into the corner, Shireman. Man, he put Ware on a flight. Got Bassie one-on-one. Does a little lab work up. Packed at the rim. Right to Stevenson. Just the way they drew it.
As the shot clock is going down. Great job defensively by Norris coming over. However, Stevenson up to the task, knocks down his biggest play of the game absolutely has been that 3.
Celtics got to go quickly. Shireman drives it in. He'll take the 2. Miami has a foul to give. Boston doesn't. Stevenson has to make 2 here to make it a 2-possession contest. 91% foul shooter, knocks down the first. Miami with 3 different players in double figures, 4 actually, 3 of them with 20 or more. They do on this inbound. Shireman with a decent look, and that'll do it. Khalil Ware And the Miami Heat win their first game of Summer League, 100-96.